Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I can't guarantee that I won't be an emotional mess this video as it's 5 in the morning. I'm in a cold barn and I just feel like I've been trapped in a corner. I have so much information, but I have been scared to speak out because of the topics that it involves. I am not talking about practicing medicine. Nothing that I've been doing or am analyzing is practicing medicine, unless you call like giving your child's body the supports that it needs nutritionally or in generally what his biology is telling us medicine. I feel like that's a parental right. But my son was up for multiple hours. His diagnosis is autism. Although events are rare, he does have events where he is massively self-harming, punching his chest, punching walls. And it's hard as a parent, especially what I've learned over the past 4 months, to sit there and watch him, and all I can think about is what have we done? He never had a chance with what we've done. And I know that seems drastic, but the reality of this whole situation is it's true. The past 4 months, I've been doing a deep dive into Jonah's genetics. Jonah was in a study, and I was lucky enough to have access to medical testing and results, and prior to the study, he had medical testing done with researchers because of me, and me working with researchers when doctors brought them in to help because I was so sick. And even after learning from them, I thought I understood. And then these past 4 months, I didn't understand anything. My son's diagnosis is autism, and I have been analyzing front and back genetics. All of this is front and back, line by line genetic code. Only of Jonah. One data set. That's not how the world works. They need lots of data sets. I am his mother. I need one set. His data, his biology, his physiology is what matters in helping him get better. This is the testing we got from one of the best geneticists in the state when he was little. You can't get the same information from these two things. Now, this technology I don't think was available at this time. But there's no follow-up. I will caution, I have spent hundreds of hours going through this. But tonight was hard because this has not been an easy road. The facts have been eye-opening, humbling, and heavy. Concerning as well by so many things. I'm gonna look so awkward because I just cry a lot. This is emotional. There is so much going on biochemically with Jonah and his genes. And Jonah's genes are not bad. Let me make that clear. Because he has these variants and mutations does not mean symptomology will occur. What I've been doing is taking all of this data on the variants and mutations that occur within him how they impact other systems and genes and functionality of the body, what should or should not be in his environment. And literally, this is a roadmap of how to do it, correlating it with blood work like glutathione testing to show, okay, this has been activated. But anytime you're looking at this, genetics are complex. Every time there's a symptom, there could be 50 biochemical reasons, and I'm just throwing out that number, don't take that as a statistic, that could be impacting that behavioral. It's not, I want to behave this way. It's not, they're not stuck. Their bodies are literally calling out to us being like, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. I'm not trying to fix his autism, but I don't even know who my son is at this point and who he is meant to be. And all I want to do is allow him to thrive and shine. And his genetic makeup is giving me a literal functional map of how to help him. And I can't be silent about what I'm learning about it, because he's diagnosed with autism and is being given prescriptions and this and that we've had to take away because they're intensifying symptomology based on genetics. And this goes past that freaking genetic test that he had years ago that says what medication he can and cannot metabolize, because it's so much deeper than that test, because he has so many bottlenecks that make things so complex. And I don't know if he's an outlier. Once again, I'm not going by the years of statistics. I don't want to be a researcher. I want to impact people now. I want to impact my community now. I want to impact my son now. And we can, and the study was showing that. But funding gets cut, information gets lost, wait lists are long, and then parents have to wait and kids are suffering. I don't know what people are fighting about on Capitol Hill. Why are you fighting? There's factual proof that multiple things that we are doing and forcing on people are not good for everybody, and not just good, harmful. I'm not bound by shit. I'm not bound by a degree. I'm not bound by a certification. I'm bound by my son and my faith, and I'm bound to the people of my country. And that means I have to speak out. I am not doing what God has called me to do. I'm tired of lamenting for people on the street halfway across the world that I see on Facebook. And I'm like, only if you knew. Only if you knew. And I'm tired of it. The mycotoxins, the chemicals, the mold exposure. His genetics show that he will be sensitive to pesticides. Why are we doing this? Vaccines, they have a whole different impact on his genetics. And with what we know about genetics, genetics are constantly building mutations and variations so to benefit us somehow. So my question is, why can't we ask questions about certain fields? Why can't I ask, okay, I have 1 billion autoimmune diseases. My parents were vaccinated. I was vaccinated. But we know with genetics, we can't control them as much as we think we can. So if there was a vaccine or an exposure to something that then triggered the body's response to be, I'm going to build immunity to this. If we're doubling that immunity, don't you think that would cause the immune system to become overactive or something like that? I'm not saying that's the case of what happens, but I'm saying functionally that would make sense. We need to stop. I'm tired. I am tired. This is stressful. I'm tired of seeing kids suffer, my son suffer, and people misinterpreting symptomology and just disregarding the biochemical aspect of it. We started developing chemicals and giving drugs to people, understanding that they were taking away symptoms without understanding how they were biochemically impacting the body. Long term, what would happen if people can't metabolize those drugs, or for my son, and I'm not going to mention the drug at this point because that will be in a different video, and there's lots of them. He literally pulls that drug, it starts to break down, his body turns it into a toxic byproduct, more of it. It's not about dose, it's about how his body views that chemical and then decides to process it. No matter the dose, he will pull more of it, create a toxic byproduct, which would not be bad if he could get rid of that toxic byproduct. But he can't, because he's got 100 different thousand pathways and systems that are impacted genetically that are causing bottlenecks. Again, that doesn't mean it's bad, but they've all been freaking activated, and we can prove it with testing. We can prove his genetics have the predisposition to do it, and then that they've all become active because of all of this stuff. And yet, I'm sitting here being told, wait, you won't understand it. Wait, this, that. Bullshit. I'm tired. And this channel is not going to be a super emotionally driven channel, because that is not going to give anyone any help. It is going to be factual, based on Jonah's genetics, what we are doing to support him, and what proof we have. Jonah's genetic code is his, and he needs to keep his autonomy. There are certain things about his genetic makeup that I will not give out. But at the same time, I will give as much information as I can, and how we know it is occurring, and then how we can support it. Because I can't help everyone right now. Eventually, I want to help my community. I'm planning to turn this into a spa and wellness where people can come out to my property and I can help them. This isn't about money. This is about, I can't lament anymore. My body physically can't hold this in anymore. I can't cry for people I don't even know, because I feel like they are being completely misinformed. We need to stop and think, yes, we asked for this. In the name of progression and doing better, we've asked for this. But why can't now we stop, hold on a second, and be like, okay, what was the impact of this? What is the impact? Let's switch it. Why is Capitol Hill fighting? You know this information. I'm sure you could get this from the study. The government has access to my kid's genetic code. I'm sure of it. I can't be the only person, a mom in Indiana, that is figuring this crap out. I don't even know technically what professions I'm diving into when I'm going in looking at different systems and what genetics impact that, what symptomology would occur, what physical symptomology occur, what mental symptomology would occur, all of these things. It's too much. So we will break it down, we will go slow. I will introduce you to the life of my son. But there's fact to this, and I have kept my mouth quiet because of fear, and I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I've got too many organs removed. They've taken everything from me. Mostly, I'm trying to get my health back, and I don't even know if I can. But I will be damned if my kids end up like me at 23, having organs removed left and right, not able to fully be present for your children, having IVs, people misunderstanding you because they don't understand your symptomology. It's all nuts. I can't be scared anymore. And I'm gonna speak out, and I have to. My energy is exploding so much that I wrote 2 songs. I'm not a songwriter. I have a semi-okay voice. I will never sing them. So I wrote these songs and I made them AI. And I've been listening to them while I'm doing this to keep me going. And I will educate based on what I understand about Jonah's genetics, about genetics as a whole. And I will try to help my community, the people I can, but most of all, my son comes first. My daughter comes first. My husband, my family comes before helping the world. And if this gets too chaotic, if things start getting too crazy, then I'll have to reevaluate what I'm educating on, if I'm speaking on things or if I'm not. Because what is the purpose of me speaking on this if it can't help the person that means the most to me, which is my child and my other child and my husband? I don't really care about myself that much anymore. I fight for them. I don't even know if I can fully support the things that they've stolen. They take away organs saying, oh, it's nothing. No, they send signals to every part of the body to do things, to produce things, to start working. We can't just start cutting them out. Like, we know this now. Why are we still doing this to people? Why are we still having this problem? But when we all speak out, when a mother speaks out, she doesn't know anything. That's bullcrap. I know more. I know a lot. I've spent hundreds of hours looking through these pages, line by line, of my son's genetic makeup. Don't tell me I don't know. Don't tell me I don't understand. And don't tell me I can't speak on what has been helping my child. There is no reason he should benefit from the information we got from the avenues we got it from, including the study, more than any other person that was in the study. And I don't know how to help those people yet, or even if I can, or even if they need it or want it. But the reality of it is this: I would not be doing what God is calling me to do if I keep my mouth shut. And that's where I'm at this morning. Take this video for what you want. Say that I'm a rambling lunatic that is emotional and she's a mother. I am emotional right now. I've had a very hard night. And when you are looking at him and you see him scratching and you see raised bumps on his skin and you think 50 different things, external factors that play a part in that, all of these things, and then his genetics on top of that, you start looking at everything differently. He's not wanting to do this. He physically can't help it because there's biochemistry that is forcing my child to do certain things. And we are choosing to ignore that instead of supporting these kids and helping the ones where this actually helps them. But here's the thing. It's gonna be different in the way you do it for every person, and that takes time, and that is not our system. That is not our system. I am not against Western medicine at all. What I am against is us not being truthful about how the body works and how it actually can be supportive to function properly or close to it. And stop forcing people to do things because a corporation said it's going to help the whole world when you can prove that for your child, it's not good. It's bad and not healthy and will cause damage long term and possibly damage to the offspring because it's impacting deep core physical attributes of their genetic makeup. I'm tired. So that's our channel. And I will release those 2 songs. They are imperfectly perfect for me. Some words are said wrong. I really don't care. It was writing to get energy out. I do not want to be a songwriter and I do not want to sing. I have always used this as writing as a tool to get my words out when my neurodivergent causes chaos within my brain. And so I will release those, and after the new year is when we will really dive into the series of Jonah's genetics. because I want a good Christmas with my family. But what bothers me is Christmas is a time of hope. Christmas is a time of joy. Christmas is a time of understanding and feeling God. And I don't know how people can view children's or anyone's genetic makeup like this and not see God. It's so complex. And even when supporting, the outcome could be not what we expected it to be, because it's vast beyond comprehension. And I think one day I will get to heaven and God will even say, you thought you knew, but little did you know. And that's okay. But I'm not going to be scared anymore. They've already taken everything. My son is not living his true life right now. He's getting there, but he's not there yet. And I'm not letting that be taken away from him or my daughter or anyone in my circle that is special to me. I'm just so tired. So you can take what you want for those songs, but I'm going to release them. Maybe they can be an anthem for somebody else to do and go down avenues to look for their kid. Again, this is only Jonah's genetic makeup. Every child needs to be looked at as an individual. Everything could impact that child completely different than they impacted Jonah. And that is worth looking into. But there are things that you can do, like clean food, clean water, to support the body. And what I mean by clean food is like clean food that's hard to come by anymore, but those things aren't harmful. They're just common sense. But what we think is healthy in our food system in the United States is not. I don't know how they're allowed to call it food, but I mean, it makes it pretty clear on where I stand. So, all that being said, you get an idea of how my brain works just by watching this video. It's all over the place. The videos coming up, they're going to be scripted. I may seem unnatural, and that's because I won't be able to get the information out there, because the reason I've been able to dive into this so well is because my brain makes rabbit holes and connections and loops very quickly, but I do them in my head, and I'm not always good at communicating the connections that are going on, and then people are like, what are you talking about? And so I have to figure out how to do this in a very clear and productive way. So let's dive into how we're all our own wildflowers. I hope you guys have a great day and wonderful Christmas. See you later.